welcome to the Vintage Hollywood Archive. Personalities make history, but some individuals are naturally born for history. They have talent that helps them change the course of history. Anna May Wong readily comes to mind, one named the advocates of the unity of humanity would not forget in the entertainment industry. She is cute, talented, and highly intelligent, but from the Asian side of the globe. That is what defines her uniqueness in Hollywood and the history she made. Make sure to watch the video until the end, and if you're new here, don't forget to join our wonderful community by subscribing to the Vintage Hollywood Archive channel. Anna May Wong was an unusual icon in the golden age of Hollywood talents. She came into the scene with her peculiar social-cultural makeup that critics talk about today as groundbreaking. At a glance, her profile revealed that this Chinese-American actress was born in Flower Street, Los Angeles, in 1905 as Wong Liu Tsong, to settlers who operated a local laundry outfit within the neighborhood. Young and pretty, Wong has her eyes set on the motion pictures industry, which she thought was more lucrative than her family business. She was about 5 years when her parents left Chinatown for Figueroa Street, a neighborhood majorly occupied by Mexicans and Eastern European family units. Wong and her family became the only Chinese Americans residing in the area. She was empathetically the first of her kind to do lots of things in Hollywood, and I would be looking into how it shaped the industry. Remarkably, this cute entertainment genius did not hesitate when she ditched her academics to follow her interest, against her father's wishes, in what could be described as teenage rebellion. But her ambitions turned out to be what shaped her future in a rare twist of fate. Little Wong was so creative and knew exactly where she was heading to. By the age of 11, she had given herself a stage moniker, Anna May Wong, which was a combination of her English name and surname. What an early display of brilliance! She was also lucky in languages. Though initially schooling in a public school, she later enrolled in a Presbyterian Chinese school, where she was able to learn in English and acquired Chinese language lessons that made her bilingual. Even though she learned to speak fluent German and French when her career progressed, resulting in international travels and engagements. I heard that as a child, Wong would have used her launch money to pay for movie tickets and get herself entertained by film crews, and perhaps hoped that she would join this movie magic soon. And by the time she was 16, she'd vacated her school for an acting career. The young beauty became very addicted to movies that she was persistently pestering movie crews when she was looking for an acting opportunity. And lots of them later recognized her and even gave her a name CCC, meaning Curious Chinese Child. Well, as early as 1919, Wong started working as a movie extra in Hollywood films, leading to her dropping out of school in 1921. About a year afterwards, she already had a break in a big movie role. One thing leads to another, and today, Anna May Wong's legacy as a pioneering Asian American star remains the type that gladdens the mind, especially as we turn back the hands of time on the events that shaped her life and time in the golden age of Hollywood. Her rare contribution is the reason she would be featured on quarter-dollar coins, an expensive honor that reflects her spirited but difficult career in the American entertainment scene. I read a publication where Wong was described as Hollywood's lost daughter. I'm not sure I understand what the writer means, but I do know that she challenged traditions. Like many other actresses, Wong is just a victim of the system that created her story from childhood and set the stage for her dramatic life. Wong and her cinematographer cousin were into a real deal as the duo worked together on a few instances. Their film partnership produced The Alaskans, Hollywood Party, Shanghai Express, and the adaptation of Peter Pan that Wong appeared as Tiger Lily. Recall that Wong made her on-screen credited debut in 1921, co-starring actor Lon Chaney in the anthology movie Bits of Life. The outing exposed her to the entertainment scene and resultantly got her a cover image for an edition of a British magazine known as Picture Show. Wong's career spanned from silent pictures to talkies and beyond, and later performance saw her very active in TV shows. Her first lead role came in the Technicolor film The Toll of the Sea in 1922, appearing alongside Douglas Fairbanks and Marlene Dietrich. The production is a retelling of the Madame Butterfly tale in lurid two-strip Technicolor. The reviews were blissful, as each praised her performance, with popular media indicating that she needed to do more of the acting in the industry. She should be seen again, on the screen, it stated. But getting another major role became so difficult for Wong for years, making her settle in that role that defined her reputation and severed her relationship with her country. She was playing the role of the manipulative Mongol slave in Douglas Fairbanks' 1924 film, The Thief of Baghdad, as she became very prominent as the classic Dragon Lady. About her romantic life, Wong throughout her career was into romantic affairs with white men and was said to avoid Chinese men for some Chinese cultural reason that tends to label female actresses as call girls. When she relocated to Europe at the termination of the silent era to give a boost to her career, it favored her as she further displayed her talent as a lead character in movies produced in Berlin and London, including the famous Piccadilly. A goldfish, they say, has no hidden place, so her success story has no boundary, the reason she was persuaded back to Hollywood by Paramount Studios at the beginning of the 1930s. But not too long after 1931's Daughter of the Dragon, Wong said she would not play the Dragon Lady role again. Her Shanghai Express performance in 1932 was a career climax for Wong. Though a brief role and sacrificial, Wong looked celestial, was always convincing, and remarkably shared the screen with Marlene Dietrich, another screen idol again. Then something happened. She missed out on several roles that should have been hers for Pete's sake. I'm not sure who, but a director did say Wong was too Chinese to play a Chinese. But what was the issue that even affected her parts in The Bitter Tea of General Yen in 1933, plus her leading role in The Gold Earth? We would soon find out. Recall that Wong at some point in her career began a well-publicized tour of China amidst age-long criticism from the Chinese authorities about her un-Chinese movies. I still remember the phrase by the Chinese national protector, "the stooge that disgraces China," referring to Wong's movie activities. No one would question the beauty and talent of Anna May Wong in Hollywood. My concern is why she didn't experience the happy ending she truly deserved. We'll never know how her career would have panned out if she had been cast in the movies she missed. Given the rising performance of this peculiar talent, I'm tempted to say that the Hollywood personas involved in her ill treatment in the industry did not get things right because it seemed they ignorantly interface entertainment with cultural politics. Wong suffered from a deep-rooted studio's bias when her role was rather given to white actor Luis Rayner, who took home the Oscar for that outing, thereby leaving an evergreen pain and regret in the career life of Wong. It's very funny when a system decides to rubbish one of her own. We heard how Wong was once introduced in Hollywood as a glamorous, considerably unkempt alcoholic recluse wasting away in her Hollywood apartment. It was not just unfair representation of a heroine of the past, who reportedly took solace in swallowing scotch and stews terribly, owing to the treatment by the industry she served, of course leading to a drinking condition. Wong was said to have called herself the Great Ghost and laughed when her interviewers suggested she could star in a coming movie. "My word, you're naive," she was quoted. "They don't want a leading lady that looks like me. Do you need proof?" Wong regrettably asked her interviewer, and adding, "My entire career, oversexed, opium-addled courtesans, dangerously exotic Far Eastern temptresses. That's what they wanted to see from someone who looks like me," she was quoted to have said. For this reason, Wong is today known as the first victim of the Yellowface scandal of the golden age of Hollywood. The notorious incident that saw Rayner cast instead of Wong as lead actor in the China set drama, The Good Earth, in 1937 is remarkable in history and the career of this great lady. Hollywood's preference for a Yellowface actress over an Asian actress forced Wong to leave the US at the time, and unfortunately, her career never reached the level it should have accomplished. For the same reason, she made so many films in Europe, where she got meaning with her talent. In case you are wondering what the Yellowface is all about, it's a practice of representing East Asians in American film and theater with non-Asian native, mainly white actors. The practice is to use makeup to give white actors Eastern Asian facial characteristics. It seemed an age-long practice at the time, which was understandable because there were few or no qualified actors from the nationality in the industry at the era. Wong's case became a major scandal because she was an Asian with beauty and talent that should have given her an edge over every other performer, yet studio decision-makers thought it wise to go with Yellowface rather than cast her. One notable use of Yellowface is actor Mickey Rooney, who did Yellowface in Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961. After auditioning for The Good Earth that year, a version of Pearl S. Buck's novel mirroring the struggles of farmers in China, Wong, who hoped to play the role of Olan, could not believe she lost the role to a less qualified fellow. Observers say she stood on the balcony and peered tearfully as Rayner accepted her Best Actress award for the movie. But before this time, after taking away from her that all-important lead role, studio was willing to let her play a different role. Wong was allowed to play the role of Lotus, the film's seductive, scheming courtesan. It was a similar role that further represented a damaging typecast of her people. But Wong bluntly turned it down. She told the studio that she would be happy to audition for the second role, but she will not play the role unless they gave her the Olan role. "I won't play the part. Let me play Olan, I'll be very glad," she was quoted to have told MGM. She had argued that they were asking her to play a dishonest role in a Chinese character movie, that they, the studio, dominated with all American actors, even though she was of true Chinese blood. Wong stood her ground and never participated as Lotus. And so it was time to go home and unite with her people as she made her journey back to her country home. But her earlier roles in Hollywood movies only got her into more trouble with Chinese media. But soon Wong repaired her image in her homeland and was said to have produced several article publications for the media about her trip. Before this time, Wong was opportune to talk about her frustrations in Hollywood, and she was vocal about it, on the kind of discriminatory practice Hollywood depicted of her people at the time. As soon as she had the chance to say her mind, she did not mince words when she asked a rhetorical question about what she felt was going on in the industry she came from. "I was so tired of the parts I had to play," she had said, wondering why the Chinese were nearly always made the villain in each of the movies they appeared, and very bad villains in that manner, murderous, treacherous, a snake in the grass kind of portrayal. "We are not like that. How should we be, with a civilization that is so many times older than that of the West?" she was quoted to have said. At some point, Wong was ready to start her production outfit so she could do her version of the films on Chinese subjects, but that dream did not materialize as it ended in a legal battle. Somehow, Hollywood later tried to right the wrong done to Wong as she got some juicy, dramatic parts that earned her an Oscar some years after that regrettable occurrence. Though, realistically, Wong was never an Oscar nominee. As she got reunited with Hollywood, Wong continued acting and doing what she knows best how to do for several years with a smooth transition to television around the 1950s. In trying to understand the extent to which Wong's misfortune in Hollywood impacted her career, analysts thought the story would have been enormously different if the reverse was the case. Not just with what an Oscar award would do for her image, but how it would have inspired millions of her people, the Asian community. Perhaps when they see their kind being declared as the best, they'd be encouraged to come and participate in the industry. It seemed Wong was ready to hit it big again in 1961 in the version of the Flower Drum Song, but it did not materialize as fans were shocked by the news of her sudden death from a heart attack before the production started. It was no longer debatable, the fact that legendary Wong laid the foundation under which several generations of Asian American performers are riding today. But her story did not end there. Just recently, we heard the international film superstar Anna May Wong has been declared the first Asian American to appear on U.S. currency. This is part of the Women's Quarters program that honored Maya Angelou earlier. Wong's face is designed to show on quarters. Although from the start of her career, Wong's legacy was strained by the number of stereotype parts she played, her contribution to the industry is huge considering how talented she was. Amidst her touching performance in The Toll of the Sea, her versatile lead show in Piccadilly, and her blazing chemistry with Dietrich in Shanghai Express added together to give her out as one who created a powerful impact in each one of the movie scenes she did. Anna May Wong found the enemy all over China, but why was Faye Dunaway her own worst enemy? This video is made for you.